Hey troops, Roxy here and welcome to Roxee Plays Games and welcome back to another episode of New World. Before I get into today's video I want to do my usual thank you. So thank you for everyone who has liked my previous videos and thank you for everyone who has subscribed to the channel, including my two most recent subscribers. Sorry, I don't know how you pronounce this name, but I'm going to call you Wicked because it's kind of got a Wicked in there. Wicked JVC. But how have you pronounced your name? Sorry if I'm obviously getting it completely wrong, but thank you very much for subscribing. And also, Carl. Thank you, Carl, for subscribing to the channel. For you two guys and everyone else that has subscribed previously, it is really appreciated. Right, today's video, we are going to buy a house. And I want to go through a very quick few things before I do purchase a house and show you all about that. A couple of things to consider is one, location. Location. Why is location a key thing? Well, it really depends on what your goals are, what you're doing in the game. Are you a crafter? Are you a gatherer? Are you a PvPer? Are you part of a company that owns territory? Lots of different things to consider. I'm in a very small company. PvP isn't really on our agenda. We're more for the just hanging out, doing things together, questing, and all those sorts of kind of things. I'm big on gathering, I'm big on crafting. That's my kind of main thing. So for me personally, and like I say, everyone's going to be slightly different. For me personally, I'm thinking I want to have a central spot that's going to be good to get to high level areas. And to me, Brightwood, Weaver's Fen, potentially Restless Shore are three areas that are really good to then get up into these northern territories. Couple of other things to consider is for your company owns the territory, you're going to be getting a discount on your property tax, so that's something to definitely consider. But yeah, thinking about where you want to be, where you want to base yourself out of is going to be your key factor. Now the downside is if you're down here in First Light and you question and question, building up your territory standing, and then you move to Windswood and you question and building up your standing, and then you're kind of thinking, right, where am I going to move to next? Oh, I'm going to move to Brightwood next. I'm going to do some questing there. By the time you get to this point, these ones might already be at a reasonably high level or medium level, and then you've got to start pretty much from the beginning to build up your territory standing to purchase a house there. So that is one downside. Obviously, you're not really going to get here until, you know, mid to high 20s. So that is another thing to obviously consider. So lots of things to consider. But either way, if we go to our territory standing, you can see down this left-hand side here what your standing is for those particular areas. Oh, I need to sneeze. Excuse me, sorry about that. Yeah, you can see what your levels are. So all the way down the bottom, I've got Ebbnscale Reach and Reek Water on 0, Restless Shore on 2, Morningdale on 2, and then coming all the way up, Windswood and Monarch's Bluff, where I did a lot of questing, are on 21, respectively, and Brightwood, where I've been busting my guts to get to standing of 30, is where I currently am. Why do I want to be at 30? Well, if I bring up this little image here for you, this one here, we can see that we've got 4 tier of houses. For each tier of house, I'm moving my mouse over this and you might not be able to see it. No, you can't see it. So 4 tier of houses, 1 down to 4. For each tier of house, the price increases 5,000, 10,000, 15,000 and 20,000 for a tier 4. With each of those ones, the tax increases. Now the numbers on there are base. It doesn't take into consideration whether you have discount. It doesn't take into consideration if the governor of that settlement has put the tax rates up. Okay, but that'll just give you a bit of an idea, and we'll have a look at that in a second. The cooldown A tier 1 house, the smallest one, has a cooldown of 4 hours on the respawn, so you can actually respawn to your house, but you have to wait 4 hours to do it again. All the way down to 2 hours for a tier 4 house, so it's half the time, which is really good if you're doing a lot of traveling back and forth and you don't want to be using up all your Azoth. Having a cooldown, having a house to quick travel is going to be really handy. Maximum pets increases, not really too fussed about that personally, and the same again with lights. But standing requirements, this is a key thing. You need a minimum of a standing rating of 10. Let's just open this back up again. You need a minimum of 10 to buy the first house. It then goes up to 15 for tier 2, 20 for tier 3, and 30 for tier 4. So let me just give you a very quick story. I was in Windswood, I had around about 11 standing I think, and I was looking at some houses and I was thinking, oh, I want to buy a house. Where would be a really good place to base my house? And I was thinking Brightwood is a nice central spot. I went to all the different places around and looked at the different houses. Weaver's Fen's another good one, but I really don't like the layout of Weaver's Fen. I like the layout of Windswood. Monarch's Bluff's not too bad. Eberscale and Reekwater are too high level for me. And at the time, Restless Shore was too high level for me. And even Weaver's Fen. But I did go in there, rush past all the enemies. But I thought, Brightwood, I like the layout. I like the layout of where all the crafting things are. I like the houses. And it's a nice central spot once I'm high enough to start moving into the higher level areas. Brilliant. That's what I'm going to go for. 10,000 for the biggest house. I then did a load of missions, saved up the money, went back to Brightwood to buy the house, and I couldn't. And I was confused. And then I realised I didn't have the right required standing to purchase a house. No, I said to myself. Yes, I did go like that. I went, no. Because I had all the money and I couldn't. So we come to a house. This one here, 2,500. Yes, when you come to buy your first house, you get it at half price. And the property tax is at half price as well. So here's another thing to consider when you're buying your first house. Now, I'm sure a lot of you that are watching this video may already have a house. But if you haven't, then hopefully this will be good news for you. It makes logical sense, in my opinion, and in my mathematical mind, that if you want to buy houses and you're going to buy multiple houses, obviously you can have a maximum of 3 houses, one in each location, to have or to buy the most expensive house first, because you're going to get the maximum amount of savings. If I buy the small one, I'm only going to get 2,500. I'm only going to save 2,500. Whereas if I go and buy the most expensive house, as an example, this one right here, I'm going to save 10,000. So I'm saving 7,500 gold more, which can be put towards buying my second house. Does that make sense? I think it does. Again, it's going to be less tax, so that's going to be great. It's not quite half. In fact, it's nowhere near half. It's just a discount by the looks of it. Territory standing discount. Okay, so the higher territory standing, the more of a discount you get. That's cool. But the other thing to think about it as well is not only are you going to get a bigger cooldown timer, or a less cooldown timer, I should say, so it's 2 hours instead of 4 hours, but something that, in fact, no, it does, on this little image here, storage furniture. You can put storage furniture into your house, and that is these things here, storage chest. Now I've got the very basic one, the tier 1, a hewn log storage chest, and the, oh, let me move that image out of the way. The hewn log storage chest can store an extra 200 items in your storage for that settlement. So if I go to the storage here, at the moment I have got 1,250. If I add, where have you gone? Oh, it's not in there, it's in here. If I add one of these, it's going to put it up to 1,450. Now, if we go back to that image again, sorry, I'm going to be going back and forth here. If I go back to this image, a tier 1 can only have one. A tier 4 house can have 4. So if I add 4 of those hewn storage chests in, that's an extra 800 storage for me. That is a massive amount, because that's then going to put me up to 2,050 storage. I'm a big gatherer, I'm a big collector. I've got different areas that I'm doing different things in. As an example, I'm doing my cooking currently here in Brightwood. So I've got most of my cooking stuff, but I've got other bits and pieces here as well. And I'm doing my alchemy somewhere else. So in my head, my logical head, it's saying it makes sense when you buy your first house to buy the most expensive house, because you're going to get the biggest amount of discount. You're going to have the best cooldown. You're going to have the most amount of storage capacity capable, and you can buy bigger storage chests. The hewn one is the tier 1. Obviously, the bigger ones increase your storage for that settlement. The downside is you're going to have to work on your territory standing for that area. So maybe, just maybe, it would make logical sense if you was doing a lot of grinding in Windswood initially, to just keep grinding in Windswood until you got your 30 standing, and then buy your house there, and then you move to your next location and you do your grinding there to get your second house, and then you move to another area to get your third house. That's probably another way to think about it. Okay, so that was quite a long-winded explanation of what to consider before you buy a house, but it's stuff that I didn't actually think about and didn't realise before I came here to buy my house, and realised I couldn't buy a house. I just didn't have the territory standing for that house. And I decided I wanted to get my first house in Brightwood. I could have worked at Windswood or Monarch's Bluff, because I think I was like territory standing 2 or 3 in Brightwood when I came up to look to buy the house, whereas I was probably, I don't know, 15 or so in Windswood and Monarch's Bluff. So I could have got them up a lot quicker, but I decided, you know something, no, I'm just going to work at Brightwood, because that's where I want to live from, or have my first house. So let's buy a house. We've got 2 houses here for 10,000. We've got this one here, very nice little house, got a bit of a garden. I'm not sure if that's decoration or what he's put down, but either way, that's one house. And then if we run down here, just a little trip, here is the second house. And yes, this whole building is the house. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a garden, so that is the one downside to this house. But one thing I really do like about this house, and if we jump inside and have a little look around, there's a few people that bought this house. When I first looked at this, no one had bought this house. Oh look, this guy's got iron chests. This is what I'm going to be building, but I've already got a couple of the other ones built. But yeah, what I like about this house is it's got this little separate room there, and then you got the main kind of building here, 2-story, and there we go. So it seems to be that the tier 1 houses is just like a little box. The tier let me just exit. Yeah, the tier 1 house, let me just go back to a tier 1 house. I just went completely the wrong way there. Tier 1 house is more of a box, just like a little, just one room. This is a tier 1 here. When we have a quick look in here, this is it, just one little room, kind of cozy. I like what they've done here. It looks very nice, actually. They've done a good job. But this is it. So it's very cramped, and if you've got a lot of stuff, a lot of housing stuff, you're going to run out of space soon. tier 3 house, if we have a little look at this one, generally is a 2-tier building. Oh no, it's a tier 2, a 3-story building, this one. Okay. Some of them are 2-story, some of them are 3-story, and the same with the tier 4 house. They're either 3-story, but this one over here is a bit quirky in that it has 2 rooms. That's the house I'm going to go for. We're going to purchase this house. One more thing to consider. If we go back to our map and we click on the settlement, is the property tax. The property tax here at the moment is 6.5%. It's not the cheapest, but it's not the most expensive. If we go over to Weaver's Fen, it's 10%. If we go over to Monarch's Bluff, it's 5%. Do you want to go for the cheapest place? Do you want to go for what looks the nicest? Do you want to go that's more tactically advantage, or a better tactical advantage for what you're doing? That's your choice. I'm just throwing it out there and throwing some little worms out there for you to go up fishing and decide. What stupid saying that is, I don't know. But for you to decide what's going to be the best area for you. I'm going for Brightwood. Windswood I really like, and that may be my second choice of house, but the tax is quite high, 8%, so I'll see. We're going for here for now. We're going to click T to purchase. Final bits and pieces of 10,000 to buy the house, 1,020.20 coins per week. Something to bear in mind. You need to be active. You don't lose the house if you don't pay your tax. You just lose all of the perks that you get with the house. So here we go. Would you like to purchase this house? Yes, please. Woohoo! We are a house owner. F1. Title, homeowner. Yeah, I'm not going to put that up. There we go. I am a home owner. Enter, please. Right, I've got some furniture. So let's do some decorating, shall we? So let's press B. And let's get going with what we have. So if you remember, we had 1,250 of our storage, maximum storage. Plonk. These are going to get upgraded, don't worry. I just literally had made them for a bit of experience points in the furniture building. All this stuff here is either looted or I've built myself. Right, let's come out here. I want to put some lights out. Can I zoom out this way a little bit? Not let me put you there. Not let me put you there. Oh, I was hoping I could put some outside here. Never mind. Right. Let's put... No, I can't put them there. Let's put one there. And we'll put one on the opposite side. About there. Just so we've got a bit of lighting as we come into this area. Got this Halloween jobby here. We can't put... Oh, that's a shame we can't put stuff out there. Right, let's rotate you around. Put you there. And we've got another one. We'll put you there. Cool. I've got these from the store. They're free if you haven't already got them. Right. Right, let's start with the bedroom, shall we? The bedroom is up here. Oh, this is awkward to move around when you're in this menu. Now everyone puts the beds down there. I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to have my bed here. Don't want to copy what everyone else is doing. The bed's going to go right about there. If you make a mistake putting something down, you can move them. So I just need to not have you clipping into the wall, because that'll just mess with my OCD. There will do. We've got a couple of end tables. Grid placement, left alt. There we go. That's better. Put you there. We've got another one we'll put on the opposite side. What are you doing? Yep, that's fine. Let's have a couple of shelvings going on here. Right, I think you've got the idea of what's going on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue plonking some stuff down, and I'll bring you back when we're done. Righty, I'm done. I haven't got too much furniture, but we've got a little bit. So as we come in the entrance, we've got our little Halloween-y things down the bottom there. We've got a couple of lanterns, a bit of a spider's web and a reef on there. This is going to be my storage room, and I need a lot of stuff in here to make it look a lot better than it is. And then as we come into here, got a nice little pooch on a rug there, little picture, some tables, well, some tables, a table with some pots and pans and bits and pieces on the shelf there. Got some stuff hanging from here, a little fire, and a little shelf with all of our stuff on. This little item, I'm not sure what that was. Come up, we've got this little bit of a decoration. We've got another pooch up here, chilling out in front of the fire. Here's our bed. Some little bits of decoration and stuff on there, and I've got a little rolled up map. So yeah, that's it. Really simple. Makes things look a little bit more enjoyable. And again, I can use this as a fast travel point now. So what I'm thinking in my head is, at the moment I've got this as my inn as well, which obviously doesn't really make sense. So I'm actually going to put my inn now over in Weaver's Fen. So I've got that as a quick travel point. I've got Brightwood as a quick travel point. And I'm going to be now questing out of Weaver's Fen. Not because I want to have a house there per se, but it's just because it's the next kind of level up. And I'm going to check out the houses in Restless Shore. I'm going to check out the houses in Morningdale and Ebonscale Reach, and just see what those three areas are like for housing, just to decide what I'm going to buy next. But yeah, hopefully this is just giving you a little bit of an insight on housing. There are hundreds of videos out there already. People buying houses pretty much on day one. I've kind of took my time. I have grinded my way up in Brightwood to have a house, and there are people here with houses already. But the main thing is, I just wanted to just point out a few things before you, if you haven't already bought a house. A couple of key points. Decide where you want to be questing from. Obviously, if you're in a company, have a think about where they are and whether you're going to have a house in that territory. What are you actually going to be doing? Are you going to be like me, where you're doing a lot of crafting and you want to have a house so you got more storage? Oh, I didn't show the storage, did I? So you got more storage. So I've gone from 1,250 all the way up to 1,650. So an extra 400 storage, and I am going to be building more storage units for my house. So that's definitely going to help. And I'm going to get some trophies in there as well to help out with those things. So yeah, just a couple of key things to think about. And then obviously when you decide where you want to have your house, you need to build up your standing. And my advice is get the most expensive house for your first house so that you're going to get the maximum amount of savings, because your next house after that will be full price. And as you can see now, this one has gone up to 5,000 and this one here is 15,000 rather than what they was. One thing I don't know. Oh, you can. I didn't think you could have two houses in the same place. And apparently it looks like you can. Not that I will, but hey ho. Okay, cool. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already a subscriber. And hit that notification bell so you'll know when new videos come out. Stay safe and I shall see you soon. Goodbye.